Hi, my name is Emily, and this is my informative presentation on 3 athletic hairstyles you can do for just about any sport. The braids are going to look best when the hair is separated and it's in a relatively straight line. Style is going to be a double Dutch braid into a bubble braid. If you know how to do a traditional braid, just the crossover, that's essentially what you're doing here. But you're going to continue to add in hair every time. So here I'm going to start with a small piece in the front of her head, and I'm going to separate it into 3 sections, and I'm just going to do 1 crossover. See, I have 3 pieces, 1 in between these fingers. I have 1 here and 1 here. Now, I've had a lot of practice with this, just doing my own hair and doing other people's hair over the years. So your fingers may look a little different than mine, but essentially, the key to the Dutch braid is keeping your fingers pointed towards the back of the head, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to go ahead and finish that sequence. I'm going to pick up another little piece of hair, and I'm just going to add it in to my thumb, to where my thumb is. I'm going to grab another piece, place it where my thumb is. My fingers are still pointed backwards, and I'm going to cross over. I'm going to pick up a piece, I'm going to feed it to where my thumb is, and I'm going to cross over. And you're just going to continue doing that. Now remember, the smaller pieces you take, the tighter the braid will be. As I continue down her hair. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this braid as quickly as I can. As you get to the bottom of the hair, it's important to remember to continue to take small pieces. I'm going to go ahead and jump ahead. I'll do the other side of her hair, and then I will unpause the video so that you guys can see how I do the bubble braids. Okay, so I'm going to spin you. I just finished her second braid. You're going to take a bigger hair tie, join the braids together with your hands, and once her hair is just a ponytail, I'm going to take multiple of these little hair ties and tie them in her hair. Just kind of going to pull on each of them to accentuate them. I'm going to have her turn around just to show. You can lift your head up. The braid into this little crooked of the bubble braid. Okay, so this next hairstyle is going to be a mini crossover braid. Now, I've already demonstrated how to do a Dutch braid, and essentially that's what you're going to be doing here, except with a couple more specific details. Now, this hairstyle is very important. You're going to need something to part the hair with. So I'm just going to take about from the middle of her eyebrow width back and turn to the side. I'm just going to create another part. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Take about the same amount of hair on each side. That way the braids do have an equal amount of hair. You don't want one to be a lot thicker than the other. Now that I have the hair parted, I'm just going to take the rest of it and put it up. Now, the key to this braid is to separate it as best you can. So I have these 2 pieces of hair, and I'm going to take each side and split it into 2 down the middle. So I'm going to start with this front piece, and I am going to just begin a simple Dutch braid. Okay, so now that I've reached the end of the front left petitioned hair, I'm going to take the right side of her head, the back half of hair, I'm gonna go ahead and start taking hair from there and adding it to my thumb, to where my thumb is. Once I've reached the end, I'm just gonna go ahead and tie it off. So just like I did at the beginning, I'm gonna go ahead and start with the top right, start my Dutch braid, and once I run out of the partitioned hair that I have on this top right, I'm gonna start taking from this back left section. So I just had Maddie put her hair up in a high pony. You're just gonna pinch the hair on the top of the ponytail and separate it from what you have on the bottom. Now the top, I'm gonna split into two pieces, here and here. Then I'm gonna just put those together. I'm gonna join the two top pieces underneath the bottom piece with a hair tie. Now I recommend using the little elastics, the thin ones, not like I was using in the prior videos, just because these are gonna allow you to get the tightest dragon braid that you can. You can take these pieces and pull them out as far as you want to. And there you are. I just think it's important to note that these hairstyles are gonna look different depending on your hair texture, your hair type, and your hair length. So if you decide to try any of these hairstyles, just go into it with an open mind, and practice makes perfect. So good luck, and I hope you enjoyed this video.